You will only see on WUSA 9. For 10 months, we've been asking questions and digging deep into the shooting of Terrence Sterling, an unarmed black man shot and killed in D.C. You may remember Officer Brian Traynor, who shot Sterling, turned on his body-worn camera after he fired his gun. We never saw the events leading up to that deadly shooting. Now we have learned that D.C. police have made changes to the way their body cams record video. It's a special assignment unit investigation, and here is Delia Gonsalves.
To get to the bottom of this body cam issue, we ordered one.
Oh, it's magnetic.
The Axon Body 2, the same model of body-worn camera issued to all MPD officers working the streets of D.C. 2,600 of these cameras. Brian Traynor had one too. He's the 27-year-old officer who shot and killed Terrence Sterling.
Open him up.
September 11th, 2016. 3rd and M, 4:30 in the morning. Sterling on a motorcycle, Officer Traynor in a cruiser that cut off the bike. Sterling hit the passenger side door. Officer Traynor was sitting in that passenger seat. The officer opened fire.
Keep looking at me.
It's about 3rd in New York.
Shooting 31-year-old Terrence Sterling twice.
Open your eyes.
In the neck and in the back.
Open your eyes.
This video, it's from Officer Traynor's body cam that police released, but it doesn't tell the whole story because Officer Traynor did not turn on that camera until after the shooting. Here's Sergeant Matthew Mall. He's chairman of the D.C. Police Union.
You truly go into that fight or flight, and police officers are trained to fight, and they don't remember. That it's one of those things, I didn't think about my camera at all. I only saw a threat and knew it had to stop.
So say I'm an officer heading to a scene. According to police policy, I hit my event button twice. You hear the beep? That means the camera is on and rolling. But there's a safety measure the manufacturer put in place. So essentially this camera is always recording on a loop. So as soon as I hit that button, that means the previous 30 seconds, it's already recorded without audio.
But that still didn't help in the Terrence Sterling case because Officer Traynor, remember, failed to double tap or turn on his body cam right away. So even with a 30-second pre-roll, we only see the aftermath. Even witnesses who drove up to the scene recorded cell phone video after the shooting when officers tried to save Sterling's life.
Keep him open, buddy.
There are a whole lot of questions, but one thing we know for sure, Brian Traynor violated police policy.
Get Traynor out.
Trying to get off.
We know it's policy, but is it second nature or even reasonable to expect an officer to punch on his camera when faced with a perceived threat?
We were trained one way in the academy, and we've added an audible in the middle of the play, I guess.
Officers failing to turn on their body cams in time or even at all. It is such a big problem nationwide that the manufacturers designed some workarounds, and one MPD has already implemented. Remember that 30-second pre-roll I mentioned before? Well, now here at the department, it is 60-second pre-roll on their body cams. They have plans to move to 120 seconds when the software is available.
Could a 2-minute buffer have captured the moment Officer Traynor fired his gun? Or better yet, would it have showed us what led up to the shooting? Did Brian Traynor, a police officer for just 4 years, forget his own police policy in the seconds between Sterling's motorcycle hitting his passenger side door and the moment he reached for his gun?
You've got a split second to realize, is that a deadly threat? Is it an actual deadly threat right now?
The newest signal technology hasn't even hit the market yet. It's called Signal Sidearm, and it's attached to an officer's holster. The idea, as soon as an officer draws his or her weapon, it triggers the body camera, and then a Bluetooth signal pulses out for 30 seconds, turning on cameras within a 30-foot radius.
Keep looking at me, okay?
But reality is, on that early September 11th morning, those body cam upgrades were not in play. We don't have the video that would answer the Sterling family's biggest question. Why was Terrence shot to death? Witnesses say Officer Trainer rolled down his window and fired twice from inside the police cruiser. Now, police deny that, but don't explain where the officer was when the shots were fired. In fact, we don't know a whole lot about this 4-year cop. So my journey to find out more took me to the Philadelphia suburbs, where Trainer and his 4 siblings grew up. Trainer graduated the police academy in December of 2012, earning the Firearms Training Award. That means he had the highest score in his class of 23. Officer Brian Trainer, he's been on paid leave since the September shooting, under investigation by the police department and the U.S. Attorney's Office. He's being sued by the Sterling family.
I think the public does trust us. I think there are those incidents that happen where there is no camera footage for an event that make people wonder, what really happened. I do think that casts a shadow of doubt in people's mind of why isn't there video? Are you hiding something?
Again, MPD has made some changes since the Terrence Sterling shooting. 1, confirmation. Officers must tell dispatch their body cams are rolling. 2, pre-roll. As I mentioned earlier, the department has now extended their body cam pre-roll to 1 whole minute. That happened in May. They plan to make it 2 minutes as soon as the software is ready. And number 3, training. More for veterans and recruits who now train wearing their body cams every day. Delia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
And the top brass at D.C. Police are already responding to our body cam investigation. Earlier today, Delia sat down with the commander who rolled out that body camera program. We'll have that interview for you tomorrow night. In the meantime, you can head to our website and watch all of Delia's reporting on the Terrence Sterling case, including her exclusive and emotional interview with the Sterling family. We even have a timeline. Monday, Terrence Sterling would have turned 32, and friends are planning a rally at 7 p.m. at 3rd and M in his honor.